Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
.05 on the clock. It is Monday, the 13th day in the month of March 2023, and this is your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM, and that sound is the sound that tells you it's time for the newspaper review. My name is Esther Kalu. How's been your weekend? How did it go? Any Owambes? Oh, okay, the election was cancelled. Oh, sorry. But, you know, if you still had time to go out, if you still had time to do stuffs, how did you do it without or with the Naira? You can let us know. When the phone lines are open, we will let you know. Yesterday was the day we're supposed to have our gubernatorial elections. It was cancelled, and a lot of people had, many other things cancelled because of the forthcoming election this week, and so most people were indoors. And I noticed that the roads were free on Saturday. A lot of people complained that they could not get cash. This morning, I heard some people could not go to work because they don't have cash. Some organizations have already asked that, they start working from home. How are you coping this Monday morning? And sadly, even on Saturday morning, a presenter in Ibadan, we got a report that he was on his way to work and died on his way to work. That's also another thing that happened this weekend. A whole lot happened. But how was your weekend? You can let us know when the phone lines are open. But I'd like you to know that on the newspaper review, what we do is pretty simple. We bring the national dailies to you, the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and Daily Trust newspaper. We bring these dailies to you, give you the headlines, you tell us your top story, and we bring experts, analysts from time to time to have a conversation with us, help us make sense of the headlines we see in the papers, and then we ask questions. For now, we'll take a break. You want to stay tuned. When we return, the phone lines will be open 0700 1021 1021. You can call us 0907 224 5018. You can send us a message. If you're in traffic, well, don't worry, we'll be your traffic companion as well. When we come back from this break, the newspaper review continues. Do stay with us.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Yes, if you're just joining us, we started at 07:05 a.m. That's 7:05 a.m. And it's still your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. I have a question for today. Have you been able to spend the old 500 Naira note or the old 1,000 Naira note? please let me know and let us know where you're calling us from, if you've been able to do that. For us right here in Lagos, it hasn't been okay. Let me just state it. I went to the bank on Friday, and the bank said, I asked, do you have cash? I said, yes, we have cash. And they said, old notes, old 1,000 naira and old 500 naira. And there was no crowd. In fact, when I didn't meet crowd in the bank, I knew something fishy is going on, But then I had other things to do inside the hall. But they were willing, they were so quick to offer the whole old 500 naira and old 1,000 naira notes. And then I heard that a woman went to a bank in Oshodi to withdraw money. The bank gave her the old note. She entered the market and couldn't spend it. Went back into the bank to give it back to them, and they said no, they can't collect it. I heard there was a bit of drama and they collected it. But anyways, that's not what the point is today. Have you been able to spend it since the Supreme Court gave that order that, the old 1,000 naira and 500 naira note would be a legal tender? As a matter of fact, people thought it would make life easy, but the opinions are different, so I don't want to speak for you. In your own area, it might be easy. In this part of Lagos, it hasn't been so easy to spend that. And also, have you been having issues with, fake alerts? Businesses, small businesses for that matter, they're complaining. People are telling lies. They say, I've made this transfer to you, and then they end up turning off their phones. You can't reach them anymore. Are you having issues with that as well? Let us know. But today, we have Daily Trust, The Guardian newspaper, Vanguard, and Punch newspaper to start with. And so I will start with The Guardian newspaper. The front page of the Guardian newspaper, somewhere on the right, what's this? Yes, my right, the lower right corner, you see some guys lying down in front of, in fact, not just guys, two guys lying down, a lady seated and a man seated on a chair in front of an ATM, and you see the way they are balanced. There's like, this is where they would spend their day today, and so it has been so for different people. So I'll just start with the major caption here. It says, cash crunch, economy shreds 20 trillion naira as policy weakens productivity and SMEs. Economy sheds 20 trillion naira as policy weakens productivity and SMEs. The rider says, NECA says small businesses going into extinction. See why I'm asking, if you sell small things, you have a small shop and people are choosing to transfer to you, how are you coping? I'll give you the story about the frozen foods person I spoke to you about last week, that he complained that people are sending fake alerts and turning off their phone. He found a hack to it, and I'll probably share it later on. Next writer says, NLC, government undermining productivity. CPPE calls on Buhari to intervene. Food factories shut down, lose billions. We use our wages to buy money for transport fare, say factory workers. And I can only imagine what people are going through right now. And if I tell you I'm not going through the same, that's not true. I had to walk a bit. This weekend I had to do some walking that I didn't plan for, But ACF warns Buhari, says don't stoke nationwide unrest with Naira policy. That's another major story. Atiku's aide knocks Wike for deceiving PDP governors. That's on page 3. Terrorists kill police and 16 civilians in Zangon Kataf area. Sad one there. Beside that, Rhodes Vival assures marginalized Lagos residents of better deal. That's on page 4. On Saturday, people will be going to the polls to vote for who they want their governor to be across various states in Nigeria. Tinubu, APC leaders meet lawmakers elect in Aso Rock amid calls for Adamu's resignation. And lastly, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, African techies diaspora community meet in Silicon Valley for Addis 23. And that's all we can take on the Guardian newspaper. Remember, the phone lines are open 0700-1021-1021. You can call us. Let us know your top story. Have you been able to spend the old 1,000 naira and old 500 naira notes recently? Is there, where are you spending it if you have? I heard some market people This is what they do. If you give them 500 naira and you want to buy an item for 200 naira, that's if you give them old 500 naira note, you want to buy an item for 200 naira, do not expect change. They will seize your 500 naira. I heard some people feel that that's not a bad deal, they're accepting it. For some other people, there is no POS to even charge. You know those high fares, there is no POS. The POS agents don't even have the cash now to even give out. So that's another thing. How have you been surviving without the naira? Let us know as well when you call us, or let us know your top story. That's it on the Guardian newspaper. Very quickly, we'll move to the Daily Trust newspaper. You can keep your messages coming in 0907 224 5018, or you can call us 0700 1021 1021. Let us know your top story this morning. On the Daily Trust newspaper, we are reminded of the petrol scarcity. It says 48 days after Buhari's committee fails to end petrol scarcity. 3 riders follow that story. The first one says subsidy gobbled 2.4 trillion naira in 6 months. Motorists buy at 300 naira per litre in Kaduna and others. Presidency mum. Underneath that, I have PNID. Nigeria's $11 billion trial ends with alleged massive bribes and missing witnesses. 10.6 million Nigerians used cannabis last year. That's according to NAFDAC. That's a lot. Lagos accounts for 2,000 stunted, 200,000 wasted children. That's according to UNICEF. KASU scientists and others develop mosquito repellent fabric. This story made the news on Saturday, and still spanned into yesterday, and it feels like something good. At least let's celebrate what we have when we see something good. A mosquito repellent fabric. Governorship poll in Sokoto. Politicians scare residents with toxic campaigns. Toxic campaigns? What does that even mean? Come on. ACF to Buhari, Naira redesign policy can damage your credentials. Well, that's on the Daily Trust. One last take before we move away from the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. Death toll in southern Kaduna attack rises to 17. This one is another sad news that we got this weekend, an attack in southern Kaduna, and we really hope that the police, the army, the security agencies can rise up to make sure these attacks end immediately. The numbers are rising, and now we have 17. You can call us 0700-1021-1021. Let us know your top story this morning. Have you been able to spend the old 1,000 naira and old 500 naira notes? Let us know if you have been able to. Are you receiving fake alerts? Are you, receiving, online transactions as a small business owner? Also let us know, or just let us know your top story for today. 0907 224 5018. That's the number to call, and that's all we have on the Daily Trust newspaper. On the Punch newspaper this morning, you see a corps member by the side and other corps members carrying her coffin. There was a train crash recently with a BRT bus, and that story, as much as it feels like it has gone, we're still talking about it because families are still in pain. This one says, my daughter preparing for masters, and you see this beautiful corps member right on the front page of the Punch newspaper, and her colleagues carrying her coffin. My daughter preparing for masters in UK before train crash. That's according to her father, and that's on page 7 on the Punch newspaper. Our hearts, our condolence to the family. I really wish they didn't have to break this kind of news to us, but it's here in the papers, and that's the story. Governors give Malami Emefiele Tuesday ultimatum to obey Supreme Court. Governors give Malami and Emefiele Tuesday ultimatum to obey Supreme Court. This story is on page 2 page 21 and page 22. I'd like us to, get more details of this particular story. The writer says failure to comply will lead to contempt charge on Tuesday. That's according to Zamfara AG. Rivers, Kogi, Ondo, Ekiti, ACF, Mbaka knocks Buhari as CBN faces fresh suit. Old Naira rejection spreads. Report says 20 trillion lost to CBN cash mop-up. Old Naira rejection spreads. Rejection says 20 trillion Naira lost to CBN cash mop-up. Away from that story, we have Beavers reset ends today. Beavers reset ends today. INEC promises results transmission. That's also on the Punch newspaper. No going back on nationwide protests. That's according to the Labour Party. They gave a report sometime this weekend that there was going to be, protest on INEC offices. Well, let's see how that goes. DHQ mom as Nigeria drops in global military ranking. What else do we have here? Adamu's fate. National Assembly leadership top agenda as senators-elect meet Tinubu. Anger as gunmen kill 35 in Katsina and Kaduna. That's on page 4 and 5. Another sad news there. Sacked lecturer, Senate threatens to stop UI funding. That's the last story on the Punch newspaper, and you can call us 0700-1021-1021. Have you been able to spend the old Naira notes around you? Are you accepting it as a business owner? Has it been since the Supreme Court mentioned that we should have the old Naira 1,000 Naira notes and the old 500 Naira notes as legal tender? Have you been able to use it? Have you even seen it? Call us, let us know, or send us a message 0907 224 5018. You can call us 0700 1021 1021. And that's all on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Up next is the Vanguard newspaper. The front page of the Vanguard newspaper starts with a message from the president-elect. It says Tinubu bids to form government of national unity. Tinubu bids to form government of national unity. ACF, Ohaneze, Afenifere, others tackle Buhari over Naira redesign policy. Let's see. There's an editorial on the Vanguard newspaper, prolonged cash scarcity and the boomerang effect. It looks like an editorial that started before now, so you can read that up on the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see. Kogi Women Forum calls for cancellation of presidential and National Assembly elections. How to end poverty, discrimination against women. Pengerson is telling us how, and that is on the Vanguard newspaper. Lagos train crash, 53 patients discharged, 43 still hospitalized. That's according to Abayomi. He's letting us know the updates as things go. We're thankful that 53 patients have been discharged. We really hope that, they find peace and they find healing even as they go through this period. Let's move on. Disobedience to Supreme Court on Naira policy dangerous. ACF warns President Buhari. That's on the Vanguard newspaper. Crisis looms in APC as calls for national chairman's resignation heightens. And I'll take one last story on the Vanguard newspaper before we go on. It says Nigeria's first female senator, Franca Afegboa, is dead. Oh, so sad. Sorry about that. Our condolences as well to the family. You can let us know your top story, 0700 1021 1021. That's the number to call. You can send us a WhatsApp message, 0907 224 5018. That's how you can send us a WhatsApp message. How would I even forget to mention that we're streaming live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM. You can watch us at High Impact 102.1. You can watch us on YouTube, on Twitter, High Impact 1021 FM. That's how you can watch us as well. On Twitter, we are live, and you can drop a message in the comments. We'll get your message right there. This is the time when we'll take a break because our guest is ready to join us, and you can keep your messages and calls coming in if you have questions, so that we can interact with our guests to make meaning of some of the headlines that we have today. Many people were expecting that the old 1,000 naira and old 500 naira note to make life easier, but I can't speak for everyone. Maybe for some people, they are able to spend it. For us, we haven't been able to spend it. But whatever the case is, let us know. 0700-1021-1021. You can call us 0907-224-5018. It's 7:25. We will take a break now, and when we come back, our guest will be on the line with us. Do stay tuned.
Join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:05 a.m. to 8 a.m. for freshly baked stories on the newspaper review at High Impact 102.1 FM. Follow us on social media at High Impact 102.1 FM or call 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
The business terrain can be tough, challenging, and murky. You need to be armed with superior intelligence, resilience, and knowledge to be able to triumph. Do you desire to thrive in business and become a reference point? Then join us every Monday on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM for TLIG, the Land is Green Business Show. Showtime is on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mopolu Shade, Shonaike, and Kehinde Ajose are your hosts. It promises to be educated, empowering, and thought-provoking.
Welcome to On Record.
Every word matters.
What I want to do is to take Nigeria from consumption to production.
My name is Mr. Innocent Chuboma. I started by trading on motorcycle spare parts.
They really ask, how much is the Nigerian life worth?
Policing is everybody's business, not the business of the men on uniform alone.
We will establish student loan 4 years course or the 4 years course.
When you dispense, a pharmacist dispenses a drug to a patient, the name of the drug must be written on the envelope.
On Record is a 45-minute program where we discuss the actions, inactions of government, ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as business and health affairs that shape our worldview.
Join us 9 a.m. every weekday on your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. On Record.
Every word matters.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Welcome back to the newspaper review. Yes, it is 29 minutes past 7 and we started at 7:05 a.m. Our guest will soon join us, but we have to look at some stories inside the papers today. ACF, Ohanaeze, Afenifere, others tackle Buhari over Naira redesign policy is a major story on the Vanguard newspaper, and we have been asking, how are you coping with the old Naira notes using of the 500 Naira and the 1,000 Naira old Naira notes? Have you been able to spend it? Have you seen it? Are you accepting it as a business owner? So far, so good has it been? And I mean, this headline is such that we can hear from different forums and how they are coping with this. Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has told President Muhammadu Buhari that the much touted benefits of the Naira redesign policy can never justify the damage to his credentials as a Democrat and a stickler for the rule of law. ACF statement came on a day Ohanaeze Ndigbo expressed a similar sentiment, asking the federal government to implement the Supreme Court's judgment which ordered that the old 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira circulate with the new notes. Secretary General of ACF, Murtala Aliyu, who noted this in a statement yesterday, said the policy had led to runaway inflation in food and other commodities. Recall that the Supreme Court had 10 days ago held that President Muhammadu Buhari breached the Constitution of Nigeria in the manner he directed the CBN to redesign the Naira without consulting the National Council of State and the Federal Executive Council. It went further to rule that the unconstitutional use of powers by the President on Naira redesign has breached the fundamental rights of Nigerian citizens in various ways. That's how that headline puts it. ACF, Ohanaeze, Afenifere, others tackle Buhari over Naira redesign policy. But I'll have to ask you, listening, how has it been with you? I mentioned that someone who sells frozen foods around me, I was telling a guest last week that he said he had to go to his bank to check his books, and he realized that he has lost over 200,000 Naira. I mean, how much is the business? It's not a very large store. He's just started and he's lost that huge sum. And you know, my guests suggested that if you're doing business on a small scale or on a medium scale and you have to receive online transactions, only receive that from those who you really know, so that you can go back to them and tell them, oh, this alert didn't drop, and you know, things like that. And when I went back to him, I realized that he's working now with a POS, so he's not receiving transfers, he's only receiving POS transactions, so that it comes with a receipt. But our guest is here with us, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the newspaper review today.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
I'd have loved to just, jump into the papers and let's delve into it. But I'd like to ask you first, have you been able to spend the old 1,000 Naira and the old 500 Naira note? Have you seen it? Have you used it as a means of exchange?
It's never privilege that I've laid my hands on any, whether old or new. On any cash in Nigeria, whether 200 or 1,000 or even 500 or even whatever denomination.
Wow.
It's over 2 weeks now that I've laid my hands on many of them.
So you've been doing the cashless thing and it's been working well for you. Has it, affected you?
There are some things that I've not been able to do because of lack of cash. So I have to just be on my own.
Okay.
I'm used to cashless before now.
Okay.
I hardly have cash in my pocket.
Okay. Well, I'd like to get into some of the headlines. This morning, the ACF is telling President Buhari that the Naira redesign policy can damage his credentials. I've seen another headline. This one is on the Daily Trust. There's also another headline talking about, making unrest nationwide with the Naira policy. Still, this one is on the Guardian now. ACF wants President Buhari says don't stoke nationwide unrest with Naira policy. Do you really think this Naira policy should, be so much of a big deal? I mean, if everyone accepts to go cashless, should it really be a problem right now?
It's a problem because those who want us to go cashless are not doing the right thing. They did not put a proper plan in place before execution. there was a kind of rush approach, and without even looking at the entire issue before even picking it up. And that's why it looks like the problem. Because if you don't have the proper platform to do cashless society, cashless policy, in other words, transfers, the machinery for transfer are not working properly. The cash, the ATM, they don't have money in it. So many other platforms that you need to use, alternative to that are not available. So there is no way there won't be crisis. The cashless policy does not mean there must not be cash at all.
Okay.
What should be is yes, but the way we are doing it now in Nigeria is as if we don't even want anybody to touch cash at all, and it's making it difficult for people to live, to survive. We're in a society where most people cannot even do this e-transaction, or where people don't even have trust in our e-transaction. For instance, myself, for the past somebody sent since February 2027, money was sent to me. Up to now, I've not received it. I've also 27th of February.
Okay.
Yes, of this year.
Okay.
Money was sent to me. He sent the evidence, but I've not received it to date. I have also, the last 3 days or so, transferred money to people. I have been debited. Today they've not received their money. So people don't have that kind of confidence. I heard a post yesterday that by somebody who said somebody bought something from him. There was a transfer, and after the person has left, he realized that it was a fake transfer. So all did not give people confidence to be able to say, look, we are ready to embrace this e-platform with our open arm. People are still skeptical about whether or not to work. And the way so I expect the CPA and the president to even dwell on this before they start even the issue of to dwell on the infrastructure, the mode, the facility for e-platform to ensure that these are working at least to an extent 90%. You want to say something?
Yeah, but I'm thinking, can the CBN really, even if this policy was not in existence, is it possible for them to stop that theft, that form of theft that comes through fake alerts? Is it something that can be totally eliminated?
I think they say there's an app. I don't know about it, so it may not be within the ambit of the CBN to do. People who are yes. It is for the security agencies to trace those people and make them scapegoats. Because unfortunately in Nigeria, people are not we don't always punish people. We don't always get people to punish, and people now see it as a free way to operate. You see, and that's what we're having. So the law of lack of confidence in the system is what is causing this problem. And our society, it's not like other society want to copy. We cannot go cashless completely in this country. It's not possible. If you want to plant a pepper for 50 kobo, are you going to be transferring, or what are you going to be doing? You want to do, some of those, there are some little things. You want to buy kuli for 50 kobo. You want to buy what we call ori. I don't know if you know that one, shea butter.
Shea butter.
Yeah, we call it ori.
Yeah.
Not the one you do now, not the package one. The one where grandma normally says this small one. There's no way. So there it is not there. So that we need to have some of this little money. But as it is now today, I don't know. Though even though I'm aware, I've seen the judgment regarding the Supreme Court judgment regarding the cases filed by the there's nothing in that judgment which requires the president or the CBN governor to do anything to comply.
Really?
In other words, those who are asking, yes,
because there's a lot of comments, a lot of feedback on the rule of law that is not being followed through, and
that's what I want to say. That most time we'll speak based on England, and everybody follows, even those who are learning. So we will not, because I'm very sure most people have not read the judgment. I have seen the judgment, and it have 11 order made by the court. In all those orders, there was not where the president or the CBN governor was directed to do anything. It was just a kind of declaration or a confirmation of position, like what you have done is not right. You don't have the power to give limitation as to what to withdraw. You don't have the power to say you can continue to use the letter whatever the 11th of and 4th of December. You cannot. The 3-month notice that I was giving was too short or whatever. Those are the things that was done.
This
So it was not a
Please hold on, sir. Let's understand this judgment. Are you saying that that order from the Supreme Court is not directed to the president or the central bank? Is that what you're saying?
It is not. There was nothing in that judgment, the way it was couched, that requires the president or the CBN governor to do anything.
So who was it directed
to? In terms of compliance. So what my own thinking is that, look, as the judgment merely validates the fact that, look, the other Naira note and the 500 note, which has been declared not a legal tender by the CBN governor, has been made a ledger. So what it means is that if you can accept it, I should be able to also accept it. But unfortunately, the banks who are also not who are putting old Naira notes in their ATM will not want to receive it when you take it to them. So that's why the problem is. And that's why I expect the president, even though there was no any direct order to them, when you are in a country and you are the leader and there is crisis in your country, you need to come out and clarify issue and make it possible, because people are waiting for the president to make statements, even though they are, like I said, there is no, the order is not, the judgment, the court, what I'm trying to say is that the court order did not require them to do anything. So as people are saying they are in contempt or they are disobeying court order, I think as far as concerned they are not correct. There is no disobedience to any court order in this judgment. So as a responsible CBN governor, as a responsible president, I expect that they will come out with a statement to give people confidence that, look, this money has been declared to be legal tender by the Supreme Court. Therefore, you can go ahead and accept or use it. That is not they can do that one. They are not under obligation under the Supreme Court order to do that. But I will expect them for them to say, look, we are the leader of this country. We want peace in our country. They can do that. So it's not compulsory for them to do. But like I said, if you want a good governance in your country, you need to do things that will make people, that will give people relief, because people are expecting the president or the CBN governor to say something about it. But like I said, I have gone through the judgment. I can send it to you. There was nothing in that judgment which required the CBN governor or the president or any other person to do anything.
Okay.
It's just a confirmation that other notes, 1,000 notes, 500 notes remain legal tender. It's a confirmation that the 3-month notice given by the CBN governor is not reasonable enough. That is too short of the requirement of the law. It is just a declaration or confirmation that the 500 naira or 500 naira or 100 naira can remain legal tender until 31st of what's it called? December 2020. Yes, it's a confirmation that the CBN has no power to put limitation as to what you can withdraw. Those are the things that are there. So there was nothing in that judgment that says CBN governor, you are hereby directed, or you should do this or do that, or the president make a statement or do this and do that. There was nothing in that judgment.
So with your understanding, go on.
I'm telling people to go and read that judgment, and that's why sometimes most lawyers, when you ask them questions regarding matter in court, they will tell you, I cannot say anything now until I see the paper.
Okay.
Because sometimes what is reported is not what is contained in the judgment. We assume things into it. Because people are talking as if the CBN governor has been ordered by the court to do some things which they have not done. And the other side, people are talking about contempt of court or disobedience to court order. As far as I'm concerned, there is no disobedience to court order by CBN governor or the president. But notwithstanding, I am not saying the president and the CBN governor are justified by keeping quiet.
Okay, Barrister Abdulhamid, if I get you right, you're saying that the Supreme Court has given us that affirmation that the 1,000 naira, old 1,000 naira, 500 naira notes are legal tenders. It's just an understanding of these judgments that the general public does not have. That is why they are rejected it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because that's what was reported to us. The general public has the understanding. But because of our society, they believe the president sometimes behave as if they are above the law. They think they can accept the money now, and the president will come up and say, "You are your own."
Okay, so it's a matter of fear. But that's why I said I expect the president, knowing the situation of the country, knowing how people feel, to come out and say something about it. Not even though it's not under obligation by the court judgment to do so. But how about the banks? They give it out. So if it's a legal tender and you give it to me from the bank, I should be able to give it back to you.
That is my worry again.
Because
if you are giving me the old note and I'm taking it back to you and you are receiving it, it's wickedness, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, let's move away from that. I really hope that you
and
know.
I expect the CBN governor to also say be hearing all these things that is happening, to also give directive to that effect. I'm not saying it's under obligation under the court judgment. They are the responsible CBN governor.
Well,
he should be able to do that.
On the Punch newspaper, one of the headlines is saying that governors give Malami Emefiele a Tuesday ultimatum to obey Supreme Courts. You know, so
which part of the Supreme Court that they wanted? I'm asking that question. Yeah. Let them give us a particular area of judgment.
Well,
that they expect
Tuesday is tomorrow.
And the president and the AGF to obey.
Tuesday is just tomorrow.
No, we sometimes in this country we just give a general statement. You are saying you are giving them the order, the time limit to obey. Which part of the judgment are you asking them to? Are you saying this? You want them to obey?
You know,
which one of the judgments are they asked, or are they in breach?
The sad part of this conversation, as much as we are learning and we are getting educated, is that it's not changing so much. People are still feeling the brunt. People, whether from the Supreme Court and from the president, and people hold what the president is saying or what the CBN is saying more important than what the Supreme Court is saying. Because the day we got that 7 a.m. broadcast by President Buhari, where he allowed the old 200 naira notes to be in circulation, the moment I stepped out of the studio, everyone knew that they had to accept it. So it seems that everyone is waiting to hear from the president. But I want us to move away from that, analysis, and really just hope that the CBN, like you have said, will act in proper leadership and come and make an announcement. We have another headline this morning before we let you go. Beavers Reset ends today. INEC promises results transmission. I mean, when I got that headline on the Punch newspaper, maybe I should read a bit of it. The ongoing reconfiguration of the bimodal voter accreditation system machines used during the presidential and National Assembly elections on 25th February will end on Monday. So the reconfiguration will end today. After this reconfiguration, I mean, do you still expect anything more from INEC, or is this an assurance that we are good to go for Saturday?
I don't know what to say, because you can't. If you tell me the promises made by INEC before the last election, I can't even remember the way they. So many times we have been given. We are ready. We have done everything. Everything is set. We've done everything is going to be done well like this. There are so many promises made by them. Were they followed? Have we been given reasons why they were not followed? So INEC is giving me it's giving me what's it called now? It's making any promises to me now. I'll just hear it too.
They gave us a reason why they didn't follow it. The commission said
they did not.
I'm reading it here. The commission said it could not go ahead with the governorship poll as earlier scheduled because it needed time to reconfigure the Beavers machines.
No, I'm talking about the presidential election.
Okay.
The reason why they failed to abide by their promises.
Okay.
But the promise that there will be transmission of the result to IRF, and it was done. But I don't know. I'm not a computer guru. I'm not an IT person, but I know that if you say you have, I said they have two, or except they are telling me they have different server for Senate and Rep and then the presidential, because they were able to transmit results IRF to IRF, that of the senatorial and the House of Rep. But the presidency, they were not able to. They say there's a problem. Are they using different platform? I need to answer to that one. What happened? Why the presidential was not going, and why the Senate and Rep were going? What was the issue? So I need clarification and an answer to those questions. But like I said, even though I am not losing hope in the system, but I don't want to trust any promises from INEC again. As far as I'm concerned, today they fail I repose a lot of confidence in them before the last election. I put a lot of trust in them in that election. I have so much confidence that the election will be free and fair because of their promises, because they say Beavers has come to is a game changer. That is the way they say it. And it has come to change the system. But I didn't see any change in that. That we are taking back to to the early 60s or 70s or 1999, so way before the Electoral Act, where they use manual collation or manual transmission of results. So as far as I'm concerned, INEC should please not make so much promises. They should just act. When they finish the election, they cannot come and say, hey, we did this, we did that. But telling me now, I think I will just take it with a pinch of salt. I don't want to have any confidence in what they have said just now. So I don't want to believe that.
What do you expect on Saturday, different from what we saw on the 25th of February? What do you expect come March 18?
I should expect a different election from the one that happened the last election, because when you say your election for people to believe it's transparent, it's free and fair, it must be transparent. When there's no transparency, no matter how well you have performed, people will doubt your free and fair election. So what was lacking in the last election was that there was no transparency, and that created a lot of doubts in the mind of the people. There might not be any wuru, there might not be any whatever, but they say justice must not only be done, that must be seen to have been done. In this instance, if there's no transparency, it will not be seen to have been done. So I want more transparency from INEC. I want them to do more in terms of let people believe in it, let people see it. You see what happened in Osun State. Everybody was happy. Everybody saw it. And it was no matter what come out of it thereafter, people saw the result and people saw what happened and they believe in it. So if that has happened in this election too, there may not be any, like I said, there may not be any uru or any oduro in the last election. But before that, it was not made to be transparent. Put a lot of dent on the credibility of INEC. So as far as I'm concerned, what they should do more is to ensure that they comply with the Constitution, they comply with the Electoral Act, they comply with their own regulations, because no compliance with the law is a clear violation of lack of trust and lack of transparency. So I expect them to do that. If that is done, no matter what happens, people will not be able to say there is itches or glitches or whatever. As far as I'm concerned, we need to know what exactly is the glitches or what are the glitches that happened in the last election. So they must ensure transparency, more transparency and accountability in the next election. If they want to regain their image, because as it is today for me, the INEC image, as far as I'm concerned, is not what it's not what it was before the last election, in my mind.
Thank you, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, for your thoughts this morning. We really do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a great day ahead. You're still listening to Newspaper Review on your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. It's 7:52 already. Before we call it a wrap, let's see how much we can quickly take. But you can still call us 070010211021. You can let us know your top story for today. And if you have been, how you dealing with the cash crunch, let us know. You can also, tell us if you have been dealing with any situation as a small business owner, with fake alerts and things like that. Have people been trying to play smart around you? Let us know, or just share your top story with us. 0907-224-5018. So inside the Punch newspaper, I'm seeing a story with a difference, a headline with a difference. It says robbers storm Ibadan community with POS machine, and I don't know how to express my reaction to that. People that are dealing with cash crunch, you stormed their community with POS machine. It says armed robbery suspects on Saturday invaded the election area of a community in Akpete, Ido local government area of Oyo State, and operated freely. The suspect said to have stormed the area at about 1 a.m. I'd visited Ido, and I don't know why this kind of thing would even happen. And they said at 1 a.m. they were said to be armed with a point of sale machine, which we call POS machine, which they allegedly used to transfer money from the bank account of their victims. Come on. come on. I think that this is a time that our security agencies should step up their game. With this kind of situations, it is now easy to even trace the people who are doing this. It's a transaction between one bank to another bank. So, and these banks have BVNs. I mean, people's NINs are connected to their accounts and things like that. So maybe the security agencies, and I'm reading this out so that they can hear, maybe this is a time for them to step up, their investigation processes. It is not cash they stole. They were using POS to collect people's monies. So it would be easier to even do this tracing. One last story before I call it a wrap this morning. Reports banks rejecting old Naira notes, Soludo tells Anambra residents. You can read that up on the Punch newspaper. We are already out of time, but remember that if you have something going on that you need to let us know, maybe one of the headlines, and you're just listening right now, or you're joining and watching online, and you probably feel there's a message to send to us, because our time is up, we might not be able to take that, but you can leave a message with us. 0907-224-5018. I'll take your message when we come back on air tomorrow. But that's where we call it a wrap today. On Record comes up at 9 a.m. You want to stay tuned for that. Yes, our guest for today is such that you'll be waiting for. You really want to hear that conversation. So stay tuned at 9 a.m. on Record comes up. You can also be part of the conversation. Oyipriye Krumale will let you know just how you can do that. But till I see you next time, do stay safe. My name is Esther Kalu.